cool 30 degrees in Dallas, which is a little cooler than normal for this time of year. And we've already had snow, and it's supposed to snow again on Friday. So a little bit of weather for you. Again, so thank you very much. And today we're going to talk about Meeting Mapper and stop the madness, especially when it comes around account turnover, account transition, and what happens to those accounts and opportunities when an account rep leaves or a sales engineer leaves. What happens with all this information and data? So a little bit about point in time. I only have a few slides, and I kind of want to jump in and show you the product and how we gather the information. We're based in Allen, Texas, which is about 25 miles north of Dallas. We were founded 2 years ago by Mike Williams, who's on the webinar also. And I'm Travis Davis. I'm one of the co-founders of Point in Time. And we have about a user base of 43,000 plus users in 65 countries all over the world. And meetings completed about 1 million so far with Meeting Mapper. So we've had a lot of meetings done, a lot of information gathered during that time. Here's some of our select customers that we have all around the world, in Australia, United States, all over the place. So here's some of our customers. So some of the facts of accounts and transitions, or when somebody leaves, is probably about 90% of your companies have realigned their account territories, whether it's giving somebody some new territory, taking territory away from somebody. That always creates some kind of friction during a period of time where folks are trying to coalesce around the opportunities or accounts that they have now. About 8 out of 10 reps, when they quit, they're going to go to a competitor. That's pretty standard. They know the industry, and they feel comfortable in that. 100% will take account information, opportunity information with them, which was never entered in CRM. Whether they use it or not, but they'll take it with them when they leave. And a lot of it's not entered in CRM because we all know that people will be in a meeting, they'll take notes on a piece of paper and never, ever enter it into Salesforce. Or if it is, very condensed. And here's where accounts are open opportunities are in jeopardy. Because what happens is normally you will push it, you will pull the revenue, the competition comes in because they see a void that's going on right there, or you got to play catch up because there's really no discernible information in Salesforce to really allow you to take control of the opportunity and close it in the same amount of time. So how does Meeting Mapper stop the madness? So one captures what is happening in customer meetings, not just notes. So there's more to meetings than taking notes. It's who's in it. It's what are they saying? What's their stance? What's their role? What's really going on inside that meeting? And I'll show you how Meeting Mapper gathers that. Focused on gathering information to drive revenue. It's geared to drive your team to gather the information needed to drive revenue and ensure that either they're using the stated methodology or they're using the best practices in your sales for your product. And it automatically stores all meeting information in Salesforce. There's nothing you have to do, for example, to get the information in there other than just typing it in. And information gathered with Meeting Mapper can be leveraged throughout your entire org and company. It's just not there for that individual. So I'm going to launch a poll right quick, and really it is how many of you have aligned your sales organization or your territories this year. So please take a couple seconds and answer that. Answer the poll would be great. Thank you. Awesome. So here are the results. So it looks about 83% or 66% are going to realign, and 34% aren't sure at this time. So we have to look at it from not only a realignment perspective, but what happens when a rep quits, when they walk out of the door, which happens quite frequently. So again, thank you for taking a poll. Appreciate it. And now we'll just kind of move on. Again, if you have any questions, please answer them. Or answer them. I'll answer them, you ask them. That's how we can work this thing. Thank you. So what's the current process for getting information in Salesforce? So we're all sitting in a meeting. We're taking our notes on a piece of paper or a notebook, and there's a brick wall to get that information. So we're taking just pages and pages of information, and we're trying to get it in Salesforce, even if we do try to put it in there. But when we get it in Salesforce, what happens? It turns out to be two lines. Had a meeting, talked about this maybe. No, not really. Who was in the meeting? What was their stance? What's their role? What are the decisions? What is the outcome of this meeting? Nothing really sustainable to anybody else take it over. So what we do from a meeting mapper perspective is you can take, you're in your meeting, you can either use your laptop, you can use our iPad app, Meeting Mapper, Forbes Top 10 twice last year, or you can use a Salesforce One mobile app. Take your notes in that device, and then we really remove that brick wall, because when you put the information in these devices, it goes straight into Salesforce, and it goes in where it should go from the opportunity, the account, the contact, everything goes. And what happens is you get a holistic view of your meetings. This is what we call a meeting recap. So I can look on here and determine what has been discussed in every meeting, for example, this particular opportunity, from the first meeting to the last meeting. And this is if you're in Salesforce. So I kind of like to show Meeting Mapper because then you really see the power of the app. So I'm just going to jump out of here real quick. I'm going to do that. And go into here. So what you're going to see is I'm in an account. And this account is called Account Matters. And as I scroll down inside of this object in Salesforce, which is the standard object, you can see I've got all my meetings, and these are done with Meeting Mapper either on my laptop, off my iPad, or using the Salesforce One mobile app. I've got some actionable intelligence. This is something else that you can use, gather in Meeting Mapper. I've got all my contacts, open activities, activity history, and everything, notes and attachments. So everything is fed from Meeting Mapper into Salesforce in the places where we need to put the data so you can reuse it for onboarding when somebody leaves, if you got to take the opportunity over, and so on and so on. So how do we get that data in here? So I'm just going to choose an opportunity down here called Service Desk Replacement. I chose the wrong one. And I'm going to go in here and choose American Sales. So what you're going to see now is here's the meetings that I had related to this opportunity. Again, it's the same information that we put in the account because the account is the parent of the child, of the opportunity. But I want to just jump in this meeting. So I'm going to jump in the demo Winter 15. So what you can see is Meeting Mapper is a very visual tool. I have my meeting attendees here. I have the stance of the meeting attendees based on their color code, based on the buying signals on my sales methodology. I've got the table. I've also got the information for this meeting, some of the logistical information. And then again, I can update all or any field in the opportunity and update it directly inside of Meeting Mapper. Now I can take notes. Now, kind of interesting about our notes is that you can take notes, public notes, so everybody can see these, or internal notes, so only the team can see these notes if you want them to. So what this allows you to do is you don't have to worry about when you send out the meeting report or the export of the meeting to the customer that you have to go ahead and clean out some of your data to make sure that you're sending them what you want to send them. It's all right in here, directly inside of Meeting Mapper. And you can probably paste, 33,000 characters, so you can put all you want in here. Another thing that we have that's very great for gathering this intelligence for the turnover is actionable intelligence. And these tabs can be defined for you. So you can configure them. You can add these fields here. The drop down is all configurable based on your business and what you want to gather. And it's easy. You just have to click over, and we're storing all this information. So what you gather in one meeting flows from meeting 2, meeting 3, and so on. So it's an iterative process to gather data. And you get eventually, hopefully you gather all the data you need and be able to close the opportunity and beat the competition, which is the main goal anybody wants to do anyways. So I've got all this information, and now I can either send the information to the customer very quickly, or I can send, let's say my boss is on an airplane right now, and he needs the information, but he's not in Salesforce. So what I can do is I can export this in a private, we call a private PDF, and all the information that he's getting is exactly what happened in the meeting. So everything that happened, he doesn't have to call me, hey, why is this person for, or why are they against? All this information is right here, readily available to him or her, so they understand what's going on in your meetings, driving the opportunity to closure. So it's all great. We get all this data. Now, when I go back, and I'm going to go back inside of the opportunity. Let's say that the person that's running this account right now quits. So normally I try to scramble and figure out what is going on. I can do two things. One is I can look at the meeting recap and look at all the information, click down on notes and internal notes, see everything that's going on. Or, you know what, I got to jump on a plane and I can read something on the way. So what we can do is you click the opportunity report, and this allows you to print up this document, and you will have the exact same information that the person started this opportunity does than the person taking it over. So I'll know who the economic buyer is. I know who the champion. I know there's an issue here with somebody. Maybe the evaluator's undecided. I know all the notes, level of participation, all the goals. So I've got all the exact information that I need. I read it on the plane. I get off the plane. And when I meet with that customer, I have a continuation of the sales cycle. I don't have to say, oh, okay, Martina, what's your role and what are you doing? We've already got all this information readily available, and I can take this and close the opportunity in the same amount of time as if I started the opportunity to begin with. So I'm going to ask you a question right now. I'll pop up another poll, and please go ahead and take your time and select your answer, please. Well, great. Thank you very much. So here's the results. 25% feel very confident in their data inside Salesforce. So those folks are they're putting some good information in Salesforce. 50% are no, and another 25% not applicable, really don't know at this time. So based on this, I'm going to launch another poll, and let me get your feedback on this one. We're very interested in this one here. Thank you very much. I'll share the results with you. So it looks like 25% yes, 25% no, and 50% are not sure about the information. Meeting Mapper gathers about 75 individual data points per meeting. So not only do you get this information in this view, you also get the information in reports, activity. It's not about the activity, it's what about going on inside the activity to drive your revenue. So again, this is the information that Meeting Mapper gathers right here. I'm going to jump back into the PowerPoint. If you have any questions, please, please ask, and we'd be more than happy to answer them. Another thing that Meeting Mapper does, is you can assign tasks to meeting attendees, meeting participants inside the meeting, and track the progress inside of Meeting Mapper. So if I'm in a meeting and sometimes, I need to create this action item, I need to send pricing or get number of users back, and I go to another meeting, sometimes I'll forget to do this, or I just don't do the right thing. So Meeting Mapper, you can create this task immediately inside of the meeting and check the progress of that going forward. I can also assign a contact against it in the meeting, and track that against that contact to make sure him or her are doing that information. And I can also reassign it to anybody inside of my organization to get, if it's a marketing thing, I'm not in marketing, then go ahead and assign it to somebody in the marketing department, and they'd be able to send out the task or complete the task. Another of that is our keeping everybody informed. The customer knows what's going on. Executives know what's going on. Everybody's on the same sheet of music. So we do have this account transition that's probably going to happen sometime this year, guaranteed, is that somebody can take this account over and close it in the same amount of time that if they were the initial person starting this opportunity. So really, when you look at value from an organizational perspective of Meeting Mapper, it's the VP of sales, operations, product, marketing, because it gives you this detailed information that you can use for quarterly business reviews, make sure your revenue is more accurate, making sure that if I do have somebody leave, that I can close that deal in the same amount of time. The director of sales, operations, marketing, and product, because you get the consistent information, and you get detailed and accurate information for the reviews. And another thing we have is what we call what's hot, what's not, which is almost like a survey coming out of the meeting from the customer. What they like, what didn't they like. Sales, marketing, and product managers, again, onboarding new reps, team mentoring, and reduction number of length and call of forecast calls. If I don't have to call you, I can look in Meeting Mapper and Salesforce and get an accurate view of what's going on in opportunities. I shouldn't have to have a forecast call or that long of a forecast call. And the account rep is a sustainable reduction in Salesforce data entry and populate Salesforce with actionable intelligence. Sorry, let me go back. I had that up there for a little too long. So I just want to go back real quick. So here's again is our task. Here's the PDF. And again, value at all levels of the organization. So typical customer results are 2% increase in storage usage in Salesforce. That means they're putting more and better data in there. 100% 100 meetings in 4 weeks from their reps. So they're getting the good detailed information. 500% more transparency to accounts. I know all the players in the account and opportunities, not just who the account rep told me on the phone. so I know everybody that's going on and all the players. Increase usage of Salesforce, the byproduct of Meeting Mapper, and I get a return on investment in weeks, not months. If I can take over one opportunity and close it in the amount of time or when it was forecasted, Meeting Mapper will pay for itself that opportunity. And more productive projects and sales meetings and teams. Reliable information for business reviews is one of the, again, a great byproduct of Meeting Mapper. So when you look at it, there's really 7 different challenges of Salesforce. And Meeting Mapper really mitigates all of those. Increased usage of Salesforce, again, collects the data, the KPIs, reliable and relevant data, an easy, repeatable process, great for onboarding, know what message are resonating with customers, so you know what to talk about, what not to talk about, and how to do marketing campaigns. Teams practice the stated methodology. Revenue forecasts are meaningful and accurate because they're based on information collected in the actual meeting that drives revenue. The summary, easier for users to populate Salesforce, increased reliability of data in Salesforce, greater transparency, greater understanding of your customers and prospects, more data, and increased revenue. Protect your revenue one meeting at a time. And account continuity. So I would encourage you, everybody to go out and start a 30-day free trial of Meeting Mapper on the App Exchange, and with fully supported with training and also with post-configuration support and everything that we do with Meeting Mapper to make sure that you are successful. Are there any questions at this time? Great. So I'll give you back about 5 minutes of your day. And again, appreciate you hanging in there with the webinar. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to travisd@pointintime.com or sales@pointintime.com. Thank you. Have a great day.